This video is brought to you by Camera Store. In this video I'm spending a rainy day in Osaka, where I visit the Umeda Sky building, stumble upon a second-hand camera store, as well as one of the biggest electronic stores called Yodobashi Camera, to check out the camera stuff and film selection, and try to resist the urge to spend all of my money on the second day in Japan already.
Yashika Ruby, it's almost like the Pokemon editions.
Part of the day certainly is getting lost in the sheer dimensions of a city like Osaka and taking photos as I go. Of course, there are plenty of food breaks included as well, and besides hiding from the rain in stores during the day, a visit at an outdoor light show makes for an incredible scene for some rainy night photography, where I took some of my favorite photos of the whole Japan trip. Therefore, make yourself comfortable and let's start.
We are on the way to the Umeda Sky building. I can actually see it right here. We just have no idea how to get there.
Honestly, this is one thing that I had to learn over and over again during this trip to Japan, at least while being in the bigger cities like Osaka or Tokyo. Dimensions on the map are not what you think they are. And trust me, no matter what you do, you will get lost. The distance from Umeda Station to the Umeda Sky building should actually just be a 10-minute walk. But there are so many plateaus and levels and dead ends to this area that it's hard to actually find the way. So in the end, it took us probably more like 30 minutes, but for me, getting lost and roaming around random places is part of the fun. In the end, we found it. However, due to the long queues, we decided to not go inside, which I kind of regret now, but instead take photos and explore the building from outside. I assume that these are the type of photos that have been taken plenty of times beforehand, but honestly, it didn't matter to me, because I still had a lot of fun playing around with these lines and shapes. Especially those colorful tunnels, funnels, or whatever these are really fun for playing around with the framing of the building in the background.
Well, there seems to be some sort of flea market here at the, wie heißt das nochmal? Osaka?
Umeda Sky Building.
Okay, Umeda Sky building. Oh my god, okay. I'm not made for this vlogging thing, I'm never prepared. So, another try. There seems to be some sort of flea market here at the Umeda Sky building, which I didn't expect at all, but it's a nice spot actually, so I think I will just take some more photos of the building, but also of the people around, because there's so many people just running around, also taking photos of the building, which I think is pretty fun. And I just spotted that I have a fingerprint on my filter, so let's clean you up, guys. Ich habe ja nicht damit gerechnet, dass hier so ein Markt sein wird. Ja, cool irgendwie. Okay.
Ja.
Oh. Ah, Osaka. Oh, arigato gozaimasu. Arigato. Osaka, Kansai? Ja. Is that the influencer lifestyle? Going out for coffee and filming your food all the time? Who knows?
Das ist das geil, ey. Jetzt auch nochmal Fan.
a follower on Instagram recommended me to check out this store here in Osaka station. And let me tell you, it was a pain to find this shop. I was looking for probably 15 minutes or so to find it, but now we're here, so let's check it out.
If you have anything to do with film photography, you will know that Japan is known as the mecca for second-hand analog equipment. Not only can you find vintage cameras in actual shops from cheap point-and-shoots to incredibly rare collectible items, but the quality and prices of cameras from Japan have a pretty good reputation. There wasn't anything particular I was looking for, and I wasn't really on the hunt for a specific camera or lens. But of course I wanted to experience the Japan analog camera shop heaven myself as well.
890 euros. Okay. Not a steal, but also not too bad. Who's Bronica? Oh. Oh, wow.
Hasselblad.
A couple of Bronicas.
By the way, I went to a couple of more shops in Tokyo, which will be included in future videos of the Japan series, so make sure to stick around the channel or follow me on Instagram at Karin Majoka in case you are interested in that and don't want to miss anything.
Svema. Svema ist ganz cool. 1100 yen.
The film selection in the shop was pretty diverse and there were tons of films I haven't seen before. I'm not really sure what these were. I think some were actual new stocks, but some were also just respooled stocks in prettier packages. In the end, I picked up some of the Yashica films and held myself back from buying more, since there would be plenty of more shops to visit throughout the trip.
Okay, I think I have to snag this one because I haven't seen this one before. What is this? Nordic 400? Crazy. Filmography films. Oh, here's more Yashica film. Yashica Sapphire, Yashica Ruby. It's almost like the Pokemon editions. I'm really surprised that the Fuji selection is rather small. I always thought that there would be like plenty of Fuji in Japan, but it doesn't look like it. What is this? Reflex Lab. Okay, yeah, it's also Kodak Vision, I guess.
As you might see from this little glimpse, Japan is the land of milk and honey when it comes to photo equipment, especially when it comes to the second-hand analog market. But wait a moment, please. Well, I can actually see you being jealous and sad through the screen, which is very understandable in case Japan is not around the corner and you cannot simply check it out yourself. But don't worry, because I have another film photography paradise for you that is actually accessible from anywhere, anytime, and that is Camera Store, who is also the sponsor of this video, so let's take a closer look. Camera Store is an online store for cameras, lenses and photography accessories based in Finland but shipping worldwide. The core focus of Camera Store are restored photography film cameras, but they carry pretty much everything you can think of, including digital cameras, movie cameras, instant and also really exotic cameras most of us probably haven't seen before. At Camera Store, they use authentic film era testing equipment to check the cameras thoroughly and potentially repair items before they are being sold. Once you click on an item, you get detailed information about its condition. Restored items have been repaired or serviced and work perfectly well after that. Certified items have been found to work correctly after testing them with special machinery. Past items have been tested without the need of special machinery, and not past items are either untested or flawed, targeted towards people who want to buy these cameras for parts or home repairs. Camera Store typically has over 14,000 items in stock, so the chances of finding the exact camera you are looking for are rather good here. Even with the often sought after cameras like the Leica M6, Hasselblad X-Pen or Contax G1, you can get lucky here. And to my surprise, the prices were incredibly fair compared to something like eBay or even the Japan Store prices, especially considering that you will get a tested and pristine camera. And a big bonus certainly is that Camera Store ships worldwide and also offers a 6 or 12-month warranty for the equipment you buy. What's also really great about Camera Store is that they sell film as well, which means that you can simply throw a couple of rolls of film, like this, into the basket with your next order to get started with your new camera straight away. And the best thing, by using the link in the description box or simply using the code KARINCAMERASTORE5, you can get 5% off your next order. Once again, thank you to Camera Store for sponsoring this video, and now that we know that we can find amazing deals even without being in Japan and hopefully have a little less FOMO now, let's get back to the video.
Achso, okay. Well, and here we have Yodobashi Camera, which is also a big camera store. And yeah, let's just quickly check it out. Let's see what they have. I'm actually having my eye on a Sigma lens, the Sigma 10 to 18 for Fuji X mount. I'm pretty sure that they have it, and it's way cheaper here than in Europe because the yen is so weak at the moment, and because here in Japan you can get tax-free. I will have to pay importing taxes though if I go over a specific amount when bringing goods back to Germany, but I think if I calculate it correctly it should still be cheaper. So yeah, I'm still a little bit torn if I should get it or not, but I might actually be getting it here in Japan. So let's take a look at Yodobashi Camera and see what they have.
Yodobashi Camera in Umeda is the biggest camera/tech store in Osaka, which makes it one of the biggest stores in all of Japan.
And by the way, it's so bright in here. The shops in Japan are so bright that I should actually be using an ND filter on my lens right now.
6 of the 13 floors are dedicated to Yodobashi.
Spot camera stuff.
And the other floors are car parking spaces, clothes shops and restaurants. So you could literally spend an entire day here, and since it started to rain anyways, we decided to get lost inside.
Film retriever, that would actually be worth an investment because mine is pretty bad. Some sort of scanning devices, I guess. Oh, and we have some cameras too. One shot half, okay. These are nice. They look a bit like Japan-only special editions, but I'm not sure. Could be mistaken. Oh yeah, and we have film.
Of course, one of the most interesting sections for me was yet again the film section. It was great to see such a broad selection, but compared to the shelves they had when I was here in 2018, the selection and prices were a bit underwhelming.
What else do we have? One of my favorite films ever. Do they have HP5? Oh, Delta is rather cheap here actually. Okay, 1,300.
Honestly, after seeing the prices, I am rather content that I brought the majority of film from home. Some films like Ilford films were surprisingly affordable, while most Kodak and Fuji stocks were more expensive than in Europe, besides the yen being so weak at the moment. By the way, the time and space continuum just gets messed up in a store like that, because I have no idea how many hours we actually managed to spend here, but I know it must have been plenty.
That is so cute. Oh, I want that. An unreasonable purchase that nobody needs, but that I want anyway. Oh, look at that. Rolleiflex T. Literally, they are so ugly, but I think they are so cool at the same time. Do you think it would work with my style?
Of course, I got distracted by some M-mount lenses, but there was actually another lens I came here for.
Here it is, the beauty, small and compact, really nice. Yeah, so this is definitely way cheaper than in Germany. In Germany right now I would probably pay around 100 to 150 euros more. Mal wie leicht das auch ist, ist schon cool. Shall I get it? Shall I not get it? I'm not sure. Maybe it's too early in the trip to decide. They have the battery handle here, and it's actually pretty cheap compared to German prices. This is around 65 euros, so this one I will definitely take home with me. Well, we fell a bit into a shopping spree. We went into a couple of more shops. This wasn't planned at all. We wanted to go to Namba today. However, it started raining. Yeah, so we decided to just stay in and do some window shopping at least. Today we have something very excited planned. We're going to a light show, which is also, by the way, why I brought the Leica M10 over film. raining, but I think I'm pretty well protected with this umbrella, and I also have my ekizeki on my camera. Yeah, it's a bag that you can use to protect your camera and then just whoosh it away with one swish to get it out, take photos, and then put it safely into the waterproof bag again. Yeah, it's not the best weather for the activity we have planned now, but we are heading to the botanical garden in Osaka to watch the TeamLab's exhibition, which is like a light show, and I'm pretty excited for this, and at least I hope it won't be as crowded since it's raining and the weather is not the greatest.
There is also an artwork that transforms, influenced by the movements of the birds that fly around it. 人々と作品、草木や鳥、そして生態系や環境が境界なく連続する世界をお楽しみください。Enjoy a world in which people and the artworks, the flora and birds, the ecosystem and the environment all form a continuity without boundaries.
One part in me doesn't want to put a voiceover over the section of the video to let you soak in the impressions on your own, but I think it makes sense to at least tell you a little bit about what's going on here. Basically, what you see here is an exhibition called Contours of Lifelike Existence by TeamLab, an interdisciplinary art collective. It's an interactive outdoor exhibition, and the concept of the project is to use digital technology to turn nature into art without hurting it. There are several pieces spread throughout the botanical garden, and they all work with a combination of lights and sounds. These colorful ovoids, for example, react to being touched by humans, the wind or rain, and change their colors and sound with each interaction. I don't want to spoil too much in case you want to visit yourself, but I can say as much as it's totally worth it, and it was an absolutely grounding and relaxing experience.
So I have to admit that at first I was a little bit disappointed that it was raining. However, now I think it's actually pretty cool because everybody has umbrellas with them, and you can just kind of layer them against these colored eggs, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I guess it could be worse.
I of course brought my camera, but for some reason I didn't expect to take many photos here, but in the end actually ended up taking quite a lot of photos. Bringing the M10 over film was definitely the right choice because the available light was rather limited and I wasn't really in the mood to bring a tripod. In the end, the rain made the whole experience even more enjoyable in my opinion, because these translucent umbrellas that let through the light of the exhibition pieces were one of my favorite subjects to photograph here. Yeah, so we are at Coco Curry right now, and this is a Japanese curry place, and in my opinion Japanese curry just hits differently after being out in the rain for a couple of hours. Itadakimasu.
I guess it's time to call it a day. Today I didn't take as many photos as expected because it was raining and we spent a lot of time inside. So the shopping mall day was not planned that early on in the trip, but nonetheless I think it was fun. Yeah, and I'm happy that we got to do something besides the rain anyway. So yeah, we're planning to go to Nara tomorrow and have a couple of more trips ahead. But for now, I would say thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.